Hey everybody, in this video I will discuss the article My Client, My Enemy by Judith Andre. At the beginning of the paper, Andre points out that clients can often cause distress for professionals. This distress can then cause professionals to become frustrated and possibly even angry. Clients, in fact, can come to seem like the enemy. The author's thesis is that this anger can come from an unrecognized presumption on the part of the professional that she or he has rights over a patient's body, a student's mind, or a client's activities. Andre will point out some reasons clients come to seem like adversaries, and she will suggest some solutions about how success for professionals might be redefined. Most professionals think that success is measured in terms of our clients doing well. For instance, healing, learning, or prevailing in court. But success can elude us because circumstances are outside of our control. Andre argues that what upsets us about a client's actions is that they often keep our goals from being effective. First, professionals are charged with controlling things that clients find valuable. Doctors allocate and control prescription drugs. Engineers allocate certifications, and professors allocate grades and course credit. But clients can be difficult to deal with in terms of these goods. For instance, students may become overeager to please or unconsciously manipulative. Clients can then come to seem like enemies because they deprive us of our success at protecting and overseeing what is important. Second, clients can deprive professionals of what they want by preventing them from learning and growing as they mature. Teachers and doctors alike want to learn, and often they have to deal with activities that teach them nothing, like filling out forms, locating x-rays, and drawing blood. The most common diseases that doctors see over time teach them really nothing after a while. A third way in which clients can affect the professional involves keeping her from feeling likable and attractive, her or him, which is something we all want to be. Andre says that professionals have little choice about whom they serve, and so are at regular risk of rejection and hostility. Fourth, most professionals want the respect of their peers, and clients' opinions affect one's colleagues' opinions. Student disapproval can be deadly. Andre says it can end a job and thus end a career. Something similar is true in other fields. The person who fails to gain the respect of his or her clients will not be valued. Fifth, time pressures are real and cause real suffering. Much of what happens during medical training seems to waste time, and students become numb. Universities require professors to engage in tasks that seem trivial. Compared to what a professor perceives as her real function, committee meetings, grant applications, and endless forms to fill out. The result, Andre says, can be that students become unwelcome in their professor's office. Andre recommends redefining success as one solution to these problems. Professionals should lower their sights or even change them, and as a result may become less frustrated. Professionals should try to understand their jobs as helping their clients confront particular kinds of problems, not as changing or improving them. Andre endorses a model from nursing called Existential Advocacy. In this model, the nurse helps the patient understand what is going on and decide how to deal with it. This way, a doctor can feel successful even when her patient rejects treatment. Andre gives an example of how attitudes towards Jehovah's Witnesses are changing. More and more, someone whose patient refuses a when a patient refuses a transfusion on religious grounds and then dies, may feel grief or anger, but she's not likely to feel like a failure, at least more and more, Judith Andre says. In fact, it is fairly common now for healthcare professionals to decide that after a certain point, only comfort care should be given to someone who is dying. It is essential overall to create a more detailed picture of the client than has been done previously. Andre says a view of the client as resistant, foolish, and indifferent is a description from the outside sometimes, from a frustrated professional's point of view. But clients believe different things and value different things and see the world in different ways than the professional does sometimes. We should see that these people are not saying no to us, they're just choosing differently. In higher education, professors should try to understand that students come to college classrooms with mixed motives. There are complicated emotional currents at work in students. What the teacher must come to understand is that the lives of students are their own. The professor's job is not to change them, but to provide them with the help they need in changing themselves, help they may also choose to reject. Next, Andre argues that schools should be looking for ways to help professors focus on the well-being of their students, rather than on their approval. She does not believe that student evaluations are She does not believe that student evaluations accurately bring about better teaching. In fact, evaluations can distract or dishearten teachers rather than help them become more effective. Just as helping patients confront illness is not identical with ridding patients of illness, so a student-centered environment is not identical with a student approval-centered one. Healthcare and higher education need to work toward a deeper and more client-respectful account of professional success. Andre makes recommendations for what can be done at the institutional level to help healthcare workers and professors to accomplish their tasks. For instance, in medicine, control over drugs could be partially or fully surrendered by decriminalizing drug use, or perhaps by allowing pharmacists to survive, we should allow them to survive, but perhaps we should allow pharmacists to prescribe. In teaching and the awarding of grades could be separate activities as they are in some schools in the UK. Alternatively, grades could be awarded by a group rather than by the teacher alone. However, professionals are always going to control things of importance to their clients, so they need to be more frank with themselves about the struggles. In closing, Andre says that when a professional experiences her clients as enemies, the cause may be internal. It may lie within her own head. On the other hand, the cause may be external. It may be structural. This understanding of the internal versus the external causes of struggle can help us to develop solutions to the problem, according to Andre. She says that for the most part, structural change can only come about through public collective action. But much of what this paper calls for is an inner emotional processing that is essential to maturity, a change of focus toward the client and an acceptance of one's own limits. She says that we in America can learn from Japan, where cooperation and respect in the workplace is at least as important as competition. I hope this video has helped you understand this very interesting article. Thank you for your time and attention.